Number 5. Ramstein Airshow Disaster. Ever heard of Ramstein the band? Yeah, I'm not talking about them today exactly, but they actually named their band after this first shocking captured disaster. Back in 1988, there was an airshow at a West German airbase where over 300,000 people managed to bear witness a spectacle of blazing fire, explosions, and screaming jets. Or perhaps screaming jets, then explosions, then fire. Yeah, that sounds a little better. Caught on camera during a part of the performance where two squadrons crisscross in a move called the Piercing Heart, 3 fighter planes collided, sending one directly into the crowd, erupting into a massive Hollywood explosion. To everyone's shock, another plane went into a roll as its wing was clipped and pummeled into the tarmac. Watch the video for yourself. All 3 pilots died, as well as 67 spectators. What a nightmare. Number 4. Live News Revenge. This one is particularly recent and disturbing in more ways than one. Just a little while ago in August, deranged man Flanagan was disgruntled after being fired from his job as a TV reporter. Blaming discrimination, he set out to take revenge by killing his former co-workers. What sets this apart from many other camera shootings is that he recorded himself in first person walking up to the victims, brandishing his pistol, and silently waiting behind them in his 56-second video. As he opens fire, the reporter screams and runs while the camera drops. You can watch it from 2 different points of view, since he posted it to Twitter and Facebook just before he committed suicide. It's eerie watching the video knowing the gun is pointed at 2 innocent people on live TV, and that you can't change their fate. Number 3. JFK/Lee Harvey Oswald. A presidential level assassination can't be ignored, especially when it's on TV. While JFK was shot and murdered while on parade in Dallas, Texas, we also can't leave out Lee Harvey Oswald's death also. We all remember Abraham Zapruder's home movie camera scene where bullets tragically enter President Kennedy's back and skull, creating a bloody mess. This assassination forever changed the way the American leaders met with their people, as the open car parade was obviously no longer safe. The footage is violent and disturbing, but it's often paired with the recording of alleged assassin Lee Harvey Oswald's end. While being led away by police, furious with the murder of his president, Jack Ruby rushes the group and shoots Oswald point blank with his revolver, committing the first live murder on US television. Every frame has been analyzed in excruciating detail by thousands of investigators. These tapes have brought on conspiracy after conspiracy. Had cameras not been rolling, America would not be the way that it is today. Number 2. The Challenger. Sometimes there are so many things that can go wrong, and it's hard not to expect that they will. Although usually when NASA sends its astronauts into space, no one wants or expects to see it failing miserably. In 1986, millions of people watched as the Challenger ascended into the stratosphere. With Krista McAuliffe being the first teacher going into space, many schools in America were tuned into the feed. 73 seconds into the flight, the Challenger burst into flames and exploded. It's estimated that 50% of 9 to 13-year-olds in America watched this event in the classrooms. NASA managers went against engineers' multiple warnings of possible failure, and on the morning of them, failed to warn these superiors again. This became the 3rd fastest spreading news in history after JFK and Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. Probably a good but unnecessarily morbid lesson in heeding advice of people that know better. Number 1. 9/11. Lastly, we have the unforgettable World Trade Center terrorist attacks. Not only was the attack on the World Trade Center recorded, it was seen from hundreds of different cameras in so many different shocking ways. If 2 French brothers didn't happen to be filming a documentary that day and panned up to the buildings, we might have never been able to see one of the most impactful moments of the early 21st century. It doesn't end there. Most people have seen this first plane collision, but if you dig deeper, things get worse. Recorded are the last words of employees which end abruptly in terror, people screaming as they end their lives by jumping from the tower, and the eventual collapse of the buildings. While the instant explosion and impact of the attack was jarring, the recorded footage paired up with the 9/11 calls are even more haunting. It's something that America will truly not forget for a long, long time.